Of all artists, Manet is the one who I think was most aware of the history of art and most interested in trying to look at the most famous pictures from the past and to redo them for modern life, for modern people. Now in this picture he was looking at Giorgione's famous Tempest. Here Manet updates the picture. The woman in the foreground here is not nude, she is naked, and he tells us that because he even shows us the clothes she was wearing a few minutes ago. They're there in the left-hand corner. So this is not a mythological scene, this is something that's happening in the present day with two young art students taking two young ladies, two women, out into the country, possibly for immoral purposes, possibly to draw them. Let's look at what he does with Titian's Venus of Urbino, another one of the famous pictures from the history of art, where in the Titian, a Venus, that is to say a mythological creature, absolutely beautiful woman, lies on a couch, just as this young woman does. But there her hand floats down as though by accident, covering her sex. Here, we're looking at a common prostitute who holds her hand firmly pressed down on her sex, and the implication is that you can give her flowers, someone's just sent her flowers as you see, but she's not going to lift that hand until you pay the price, her price, and so she's in control, not you. That's another thing that Manet did. He thought about the relationship between the viewer and the subject. What is our relationship from this woman? It's as though we've just walked into the room. We might be her customers, for example, and she's looking straight out at us, so that there is some sort of interaction between the people in his pictures and the viewer. This is the Dead Christ with two angels, which was actually rejected from the Salon. It shows Christ as a corpse, absolutely dead. There's no sense of resurrection here. But that isn't all that new in the history of art. What was shocking about the picture is that these angels did not flutter down from above. They are studio models, or they're real people with big fake angels' wings. This is another aspect of Manet's wishing to redo the history of art for his own time, to think about it afresh. He was, I think, one of the greatest followers of the realist painter Courbet. And what Courbet said, very famously, is that he would paint an angel as soon as he saw one. Now, for British viewers, you may dimly recognize this subject because we have another version of this picture in the National Gallery in London. It's the execution, it's a sketch for the execution of the Emperor Maximilian, who was sent out by the French government, Napoleon III, to rule Mexico, and whose regime came to a bloody end when he was captured by revolutionaries and shot. He's not casting the Emperor Maximilian as a villain, but he does show the faceless firing squad as a military machine, something that will kill whatever it's asked to kill. Manet in this picture shows a wry and I think touching and in some ways amusing scene of an elderly woman, or a woman of advanced age, who is a haute bourgeois, very rich, being wooed by a gigolo. He's making great spaniel eyes at her as she lowers her eyes and purses her lips, flattered at his attentions. You can see her long manicured hands fingering the plate a little bit nervously in front of her. In a moment, those same hands are going to pay the bill. And then the deal will be clinched and off they will go. Look in the background. That waiter has seen it all. He knows exactly what the score is here. He is about to bring the coffee, but he's waiting. He's waiting until he sees that they have come to some kind of arrangement, an agreement, a price, and as soon as that happens, he will bring the coffee over, the bill will be presented, and off they will go to whatever is going to happen next. Let's do one more. Yep. So, once again, I'm in front of one of my favorite pictures in the show. It's not one of the biggest or one of the best known. It's called the Room Manet. It shows July 14th, the great French holiday, which is a holiday in celebration of republicanism. And you'll see all the flags here are celebrating la gloire de France, the greatness of France and the greatness of her history. It's a hot day. He makes you see that because of the white heat of the paint. This is an almost empty street except for the carriages, which only rich people ride in. And what he shows is a veteran walking down the street, making his way down the street on crutches with one leg. So for him, for the rich people, they're free to celebrate the victory as a great day for France, a memory of all her great victories. But this veteran who doesn't have that luxury, he makes his way slowly down the almost empty streets on a hot, empty day in Paris.